afternoon, I'm Bhumika, a Vahani scholar. I feel honored to interview the chairperson and founder of Vahani, Ms. Reeva Misra. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us. So, my first question to you is Vahani is now a leading non corporate scholarship trust in India. So, how did the journey begin?
Yeah, thank you, Bhumika, for being here and for asking me these questions. So the journey for Vahani began about 6 years ago. While I just completed my undergraduate degree, and I've grown up in London, and I completed my degree from Oxford. And I decided to spend a year in India, which is where my parents have grown up and where all my family live. So I wanted to come back, and I was working for various NGOs in education and in human rights here in India. And it was while I was here I realized that actually the qualities that you need to be a successful leader in life, that you need to be able to achieve your dreams, a lot of that is actually tied to wealth. Not just from the right to education, which should be a free right for all, but still you need the finances to study. But there's lots of other things as well outside just the finances to study, like the people you meet, role models in life, your mentors, opportunities to internships. A lot of that is tied to wealth, unfortunately, or your socioeconomic status. And that's when I realized, actually, education or the ability to achieve your dreams should be a human right. It should be available to everyone, no matter your background or where you come from. And so that was really the basis to create Vahani, to give every individual who has big dreams, who has the potential within them, the right resources and the right building blocks to be able to achieve their dreams.
Indeed, it's a very inspirational journey, ma'am. So the second question that I have for you is, having spent most of your life outside India, what are the experiences that prompted you to look at the higher education from a giving back perspective?
I think my background put me in a somewhat unique position to be able to do so. So, I've always had my parents left India when they were young. My father got a full scholarship to study abroad, and he really, then from that scholarship was able to then achieve his dreams. And I've also been fortunate to have parents who've always encouraged me to achieve my dreams, and told me that nothing is impossible as long as you put your mind to it. And so I think I realized how important those qualities are in terms of not just financial, but also the mentorship part to be able to achieve your dreams, and just the importance of having that right to education. So I think that then when I was actually living in India, it made me realize, I really saw a gap, particularly in university education. I think there are lots of amazing NGOs that provide scholarships for your school degree, so until you are 18, but then often once you become 18 you're seen as an adult, and then you don't get any funds after that. So actually being able to provide scholarships to students who are in their university degrees was something that wasn't as common. And actually the university degrees are really, university years are usually really formative, because that's when you learn a lot from everyone else. You really get molded in terms of your identity, and you get access to various resources. So that's why I decided to focus particularly on the university angle, and to focus on more than just financial support, because really I think financial support is just one very small piece of what it takes to be a successful leader. And that's why we do the internship opportunities at the top, companies around the world, English training programs, networking, interview preparation, CV preparation, and then various other programs like an accelerator program that we've now started, English training.
So indeed, it is a very beautiful thought, ma'am. So moving ahead, I would like to ask you, what sets Vahani apart from other educational NGOs?
Yeah, I think what we do that's different, or that we really believed in, there are a few things. One, I think, is that we keep it very close-knit. So we're not a scholarship foundation that wants to get hundreds of students from, all over India. We want to really keep it so that every single student we have as part of the scholarship is able to get one-on-one, really close mentorship and support. So every student has their own mentor. They each get trainings, all the various trainings. We have the 2 workshops a year, and everyone knows everyone. And I think that's what makes us really unique. Most scholarships, you won't be able to know other students, or even the team won't be able to know everyone so closely. So I think that makes us feel almost like a family in a way. We call ourselves a family, and we all support each other in a way that a family would. And I think that's something that we never want to change. Even as we grow, we want to keep that very close-knit nature, because I think that's what makes it so impactful and makes it really rewarding. So I think, that focus is one. The second focus is on the leadership training. So as I mentioned, it's not just financial support that we provide, but we really want to provide all the various building blocks that you need to become a leader. And so I think that leadership training means that we have that clear goal of wanting to make future change makers who will create a positive effect on society. And so everything we do is really surrounded around that goal, like the workshop we're having now as well.
Very true, ma'am. So lastly, I would like to ask you, what's your dream for Vahani and its role in education by 2030?
Yeah, so by 2030, I think we'd like to be seen as, really having, by that point, we already have around 50 alumni who've graduated, and they're already in some of the top companies around the world, like Microsoft, and some of them have already started their own entrepreneur journeys. Some are working around the world, around India, and so we're already in the last 2 years seeing that impact happen. But I think what I'd love to see by 2030 is people who are really actually going out and becoming those future leaders, who are really creating shifts in society, because I believe that each student has that potential to do that, and actually their backgrounds in terms of overcoming so much hardship in life has given almost a special power within everyone to be able to go create and be a leader, but also a leader in a positive way. So I think, going out and changing society and then changing their own individual communities. So I think by 2030, that would be the goal, to be able to see that and to be able to see Vahani become almost a circle of life. So the scholars that are out there and successful will start giving back to the scholarship, and actually it becomes almost self-fulfilling in and of itself.
Thank you for that, ma'am. It's really amazing, and it's a pleasure for me to interact with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhumika.